As I walked home from a late-night study session at the library, a sense of unease settled over me like a heavy shroud. The streets were deserted and the dim glow of the streetlights cast long shadows that seemed to dance and sway with each flicker. My heart quickened its pace as I passed through the dimly lit alleyways, my senses on high alert for any sign of danger. Suddenly, I felt a chill run down my spine as if someone or something was watching me from the darkness. I glanced over my shoulder, but the alley was empty save for the whispering shadows. Dismissing it as paranoia, I quickened my pace, eager to reach the safety of my apartment. But the feeling of being watched only intensified, and soon I could hear the sound of soft footsteps echoing behind me. I dared not look back, fearing what I might see lurking in the darkness. My pulse pounded in my ears, drowning out all other sounds as terror gripped me like a vice. I broke into a run, my breath coming in ragged gasps as I raced through the labyrinthine streets, the footsteps growing louder with each passing moment. The world around me seemed to blur into a nightmarish haze, the shadows reaching out with sinister tendrils that threatened to ensnare me. Just as I thought I could run no further, I stumbled into a clearing in the heart of the city, a desolate park shrouded in darkness. With nowhere left to hide, I turned to face my pursuer, my heart pounding in my chest as I braced myself for the inevitable confrontation. And then I saw him. The Slender Man. Tall and impossibly thin, he loomed before me like a specter from the depths of my darkest nightmares. His featureless face bore down upon me with an aura of malevolence that sent shivers down my spine. I tried to scream, but my voice caught in my throat, suffocated by the suffocating grip of fear. With slow, deliberate steps, the Slender Man drew closer, his elongated limbs stretching out like tendrils of darkness. I stumbled backward, my mind reeling with terror as I realized the true horror of my predicament. I was trapped, ensnared in the clutches of a creature beyond comprehension. As the Slender Man closed in, his shadowy form enveloping me in darkness, I felt a cold dread settle over me like a suffocating blanket. In that moment I knew that I was lost, another victim claimed by the darkness that lurked within the shadows. But just as I braced myself for the final embrace of oblivion, a sudden burst of light pierced the darkness, illuminating the park in a blinding glare. I shielded my eyes, struggling to make sense of the surreal scene unfolding before me. And then I heard it, a voice, calling out to me from the depths of the darkness. "Run!" it cried, a desperate plea echoing through the night. With renewed determination, I forced myself to my feet, my limbs heavy with exhaustion as I stumbled forward. The Slender Man recoiled from the light, his form writhing in agony as he retreated into the shadows. I sprinted toward the source of the light, my heart pounding in my chest as I fought to escape the clutches of the Slender Man's relentless pursuit. The world around me blurred into a whirlwind of motion, my senses overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of the moment. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the darkness receded, dissipating into the night like a fading dream. I collapsed to the ground, gasping for breath as I stared up at the star-studded sky above. I had escaped the Slender Man's grasp, but the memory of that fateful encounter would haunt me for the rest of my days, a reminder of the darkness that lurks within the shadows, waiting to claim its next victim.